Heart, and today we are going to read a Shiver and Fears book. This book that we are going to read today is called Nobody Heart. Now, this is a very special book because not only does it host a actual real person, and also was illustrated by a young artist named Timberlake. So not only that, but the actual person in this book is Kyle Massey. Now, some of you may not remember Kyle Massey, but he was in a Disney Channel show called That's So Raven. He was the little brother, Corey Baxter. And later he became the star of his own show called Corey in the House. So I actually talked to Kyle Massey, and he loves Shiver and Fear books. So hopefully you'll like Shiver and Fear books too. So this book right here, we're not going to read the whole entire thing. We're going to read a few chapters of it. But I will give you an idea on what's happening in the story. So basically, what has happened is Kyle is visiting his aunt, and it's pretty dull. He's been there for a while, and has noticed that there's no people around, but he's noticed this park. And as he looks at it, he notices that no one really goes to the park. But his aunt promises that some people go to that park. You just have to wait. So we're at the part now where Kyle is starting to go to bed, but he's noticing something strange about the park. All right, so here we go. Chapter 4. That night, the moon shone through the window. All I but As I buttoned my nightshirt, I stared blankly at the moon, thinking about the park. I could hear voices of kids in my head. They were as clear as day. A boy calling out his turn on the swings. The laughter of a young girl. I realized my eyes were closed imagining all this. My eyes shot open, but I could still hear the multiple chatter from afar. It was as though it was coming from behind me. I let it lead the way as I followed it out of the bedroom. I opened the door and heard voices at the end of the narrow hallway. Was Aunt Jean watching TV? I thought. I slowly stepped with my back against the wall, stepping sideways with a cool covered feet barely lifted from the wooden planks. Once at the end of the hall, I peeked over the wall and saw my aunt asleep on the couch. A sigh of relief when I saw she was in front of the TV. I chuckled a little as I noticed the TV turned off. Oh, sorry. I chuckled a little as I decided to turn the TV off. My eyes widened as I realized the TV was blank. It wasn't even on. Was it a radio? The room was dim, but there was no sign of a radio anywhere. So, where are those voices coming from? I glared through the window set at my aunt's head. My eyes widened. It could be, I thought. From the window, I could see the sight of Shadow wandering around the park. This late at night? I murmured. I tiptoed out the front door and slowly closed the door. I was greeted by a chilly breeze. I ignored it as I headed across the street to the park. I wasn't sure what to expect. A party? Maybe some kind of camp out? What if there was a seance? I gulped at the thought of a group of teens summoning ghosts. I suddenly realized I was losing my cool. My heart was pounding on my wool socks. My heart was pounding as my wool socks felt the grass beneath me. I took a deep breath and started strolling calmly to the basketball court. I was shocked as the whole park was filled with people. Three tall boys were playing basketball against each other. A blonde girl was sitting on the bench, writing in her journal. I could see a mother walking a carriage on the sidewalk. I stood outside the court, waiting for one of the boys to see me. Neither one of them paid me attention. I let out a loud, fake cough. One boy made a shot for the other two whooped and hollered and ignored me. I took a deep breath. I didn't want to seem desperate, so I kept my words simple. Yo, I called, but it was the loudest yo I ever given. It caused everyone at the park to freeze. It was as though time froze. All eyes were on me. The kids on the slide, the girl on the bench, the mother with the stroller, and the basketball boys. I waved at everyone with a goofy, nervous grin on my face. Hi, I'm Kyle. Chapter 5. One of the basketball boys stepped up in front of me. He was about half a foot taller than me. He tapped me on the shoulder. Hey, I snapped. He's really here, he said. He had shaved sideburns in a flat trimmed cut. Yeah, I'm really here. What y'all expecting me? What were y'all expecting me or something? I assured boldly. The boys looked at each other in shock. And instantly it changed. They gave each other high fives and low fives and almost like their hands went through each other. When'd you get here, Kyle? The next boy asked. He had shortly braided leading behind his ears. I've been here for weeks. Where have you been? I crossed my arms as though I was tough. We've been here. I'm Abella. The third boy reached out his hand for a handshake. Abella? That's a guy's name? I asked. I watched as he began to blush. I bit my lower lip, thinking how stupid that was. The second boy laughed. Yeah, he gets that a lot. It's a nickname he chose. I'm George, but they call me Soul. And I'm Kappa, said the boy with the flat top. As he smiled, I noticed that he had front buck teeth. I smiled, trying to avoid awkwardness. Soul pointed out to me, Hey, look, Kappa, someone has a goofier smile than you. We all laughed. You want to hang out later? I asked. Oh, what, you leaving? Kappa asked. Well, yeah, I have to head to bed. I'm kind of tired. I started. But want to hang out tomorrow? The boys had to think about it. Soon, we all agreed we'd meet tomorrow. I headed back and figured the boys would still be playing basketball. All was quiet, but the sound of crunching grass beneath my feet. I stopped and turned around. I stood at the basketball court. Soul, Kappa, Abella were gone. That wasn't what shocked me. What shocked me was I was now the only one here. No mom with a stroller, no blonde girl on the bench, nothing. It was as though everyone left at once. Chapter 6. It was good to know that Saturday morning was just going to be cloudy without rain. I spent hours of it guarding the window, waiting for the boys to show up. You might just want to go out there and meet them, Aunt Jean said. She was in the living room lifting weights. But it's freezing out there, I protested. Now, Kyle, you need to understand. In a friendship, you need to give a little to get a little. Aunt Jean lifted, switching her to push-ups. I groaned. I guess it would be good for me to get some fresh air and not be cooped up inside all day. I grabbed my jacket and walked out the door. I was greeted with a gush of wind. Hi, Corey. Hi, Kyle. Corey, Corey said as she skipped her way towards the park. I waved back at her. Why are you skipping like a 4-year-old? I asked. She shrugged. Why not? Her dazzling smile dazzled me. You coming or not? I realized she had invited me over. I ran across the street and followed her. Met anyone here lately? Corey asked. I was listening, but I wasn't focused. As we walked onto the grass, I was looking for Soul, just like always. The park was empty. Kyle, are you okay? Corey was staring at me with her green eyes, seemingly worried. Yeah, I'm fine. I blushed. I met a few guys here last night, and last night? Why were you out here last night? I could see she was getting anxious. I wasn't planning on being out, I said. I heard voices coming from the park. There were people here? But why? I don't know, I replied. They left behind before I could ask. Corey gripped herself as she began to shiver. So they're meeting you here now? Even though it was obvious, I didn't know she knew. Is it that obvious? I asked. Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to meet them. I smiled. We both sat on a swing next to each other. It was a little awkward. Corey must still be shy. She kept her eyes on her feet as she slightly pumped back and forth. So, what are the guys' names again? She asked. The sun was breaking through the clouds. Well, one's name is Soul. And Soul? Corey's eyes widened. She seemed scared as she jumped out the swing. What's wrong? What's wrong? You know him? No, but you don't think meeting a guy named Soul is a little awkward? She asked. It's just a nickname. I shrugged. I have to go, Corey insisted. I jumped off the swing and started to follow. You're just gonna leave? Corey just glared at me with her sad, sorry eyes. Be careful, she said, and quickly walked her way back home. Chapter 7. It had been hours since Corey left me alone at the park. I spent every minute of those hours with my butt in the swing. The sun was minutes away from setting. It didn't seem like Soul or none of his friends were going to show up. I wasn't angry. I was thinking about Corey. What if she was looking out for my feelings? I scoffed at that thought. Does she think I'm a wimp? I suddenly felt like an idiot, as if I was a gullible little child. I had enough. I jumped out the swing and started my way home. Where are you going? I heard a voice from behind me. A close view of Kappa startled me. You didn't wait for us here all day, did you? No, I lied. I got better things to do than sit and wait for you dweebs all day. What am I, 4? So, you want to play some hoops? Soul asked. I gazed up at the sky. The sun was setting over the horizon and at the suburban houses. Do you always come out here late? Late? Soul seemed as if I was crazy. You call this late? Abella laughed. Maybe he is 4. All the 3 boys laughed like it was a hoot. No, I'm just asking to. I swiftly searched for an excuse. Make sure I know. So, if I did come to wait on you, it wouldn't be for hours. Abella shrugged. Well, this is usually the time when the real fun happens. The 3 boys smiled. We started our game of basketball. Solo 5-shot. Bella bounced the ball between his legs in front of me. He duped left, but I had him. In fact, we all had him. Abella was trying to make a shot while Sol, I, and Kappa tried to block him. First of 5 shots went. Abella charged his way to the hoop. I jumped for the ball, but it was an inch out of reach. He jumped in the air. I watched in awe as Abella flew over my head. It was almost like watching the whole thing in slow motion. Abella slam dunked the ball into the hoop. I stood completely speechless as he gracefully landed on his feet. Great shot, Belle, Sol exclaimed. I was stunned as the boys all congratulated each other. The cheering slowed to a stop as everyone looked at me. How did you do that? I blurted. Bella stepped out into the moonlight. My eyes struggled to adjust to the glistening vision of Bella and his friends. They were all translucent. Bella replied, we're ghosts. Alright, so I'm going to stop right there. So as you can see, Kyle met some new friends, and apparently, as you heard, they're ghosts. Can you believe that? So, this book right here, Nobody Part, is a very interesting story. So usually what happens in like ghost stories and stuff is like you don't really realize that they're ghosts until some part of the end. But this one I did a little different. I made it to where he learns that they're ghosts, and I'm not going to tell you exactly how he responds to it because that's going to ruin the whole story. So if you're wondering exactly how in the world this book ends, you're going to have to get this book. So this book is presented at stores such as Books A Million, Barnes and Noble, and of course Amazon. But of course I can give you a discount. All you gotta do is comment. But before I close this whole entire video, I want to make an announcement that this video is brought to you by Lulu Sweet Loaves. If you ever want a sweet treat of bread, go to Lulu Sweet Loaves. You can find them on Facebook. So if you have a Facebook account, you gotta look up Lulu Sweet Loaves. If you don't have a Facebook account, then you're probably out of luck. But what can I say? You snooze, you lose. This video is also brought to you by Chaos Goods. Need something a little creepy in your life, but something kind of cute too? Go to Chaos Goods. Sorry. Go to Chaos Goods. You can find Chaos Goods at TikTok and on Instagram. So like I said, want something cute but a little creepy as well? Go to Chaos Goods. Are you into Barbie dolls with spider heads? Go to Chaos Goods. If you want something even creepier than that, guess where you can go? Chaos Goods. It's sweet, but chaotic. So as for now, I want to say that thank you for watching the video. I really hope you like this video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now. If there are any other videos that you are interested in watching, watch those videos, like and comment. Let me know what brought you to watch my videos. Is it because you got a memo saying like, hey, AJ is making a video, come watch it? Or were you just strolling around and just found it? I would like to know so that way I can know what kind of stuff you're interested in. Hey, I want to say that for those of you who don't know if you like Goosebumps or like Shiver and Fears or not, I want to say if you are a Goosebumps fan, then you're going to like Shiver and Fears. Goosebumps is um, Goosebumps is a book series that I know a lot of you know about, and if you know about Goosebumps, then you definitely want to know about Shiver and Fears. Shiver and Fears is located anywhere where you can buy a book. If you can buy a book there, then you can buy it there. Now, if you cannot find a Shiver and Fears book located at this local bookstore that you go up to the bookstore owner and ask them about it. Ask them if they can put it into the store. I have done many times, and I have successfully gotten Shiver and Fears into bookstores. So don't hesitate to ask. Just go up to your local bookstore owner and ask them for a Shiver and Fears book. I would definitely recommend going up to a library and asking them how to get a Shiver and Fears book into the library. I'm sure they have tons of old Goosebumps, and I'm sure they have a ton of new Goosebumps as well. So if they can get Goosebumps into the bookstores and in the libraries, they can get Shiver and Fears as well. This book that we've read today is called Nobody Part. This book stars Kyle Massey, who is a big fan of Shiver and Fears. If you haven't known already, yes, I have talked to Kyle Massey, and he's told me this publicly. Kyle is a real cool dude. I know that he's going through some stuff lately, but when I talked to him, I was amazed to find out that he likes Shiver and Fears. You can find this video on Instagram. But as for now, I want to say chill out with Shiver and Fears. Hey, go to our website right now and check it out. Go to shiverandfears.com. You can find it. You can find that here, right here, shiverandfears.com. And hey, if you haven't already, subscribe. And oh yeah, you could watch that video too. I'm not sure if it's there or not, but hey, I'm willing to give it a shot. But as for now, this is AJ Hard saying, hey, you want something creepy but want something cute? Chaotic Goods. Hey, remember, chill out and read.